Hello and welcome to This Week in Frax. Me and the boys back again. It's May 25th and
We're so back.
we're so back. So for those of you who turned into Frax Check this past week, we said that it was a quiet, maybe a little bit too quiet, but that's not the case with Frax in Review or This Week in Frax. Man, we got so much going on. It's crazy. So let's start out with one of the articles that we actually published this week, which was a Frax 101 article talking about governance. Awesome, guys. I'm fully sold on Frax now.
Right, like you weren't before.
Well, you know, I had reservation. I mean, like anybody else, you have reservations about the multi-sigs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you read the Llama Risk guide, it essentially says that the team has the ability to like rug everything, right?
Yeah.
Like 5 people manage $690 million worth of Frax assets, and you know, there's no accountability to that, and that's always worrying, right? Especially not just from a rug sense, but also in like, oh hey, the feds could show up at your door one day and throw you in jail, and then what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I think it worries a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely an optics thing.
Mhm.
Both an optics thing as well as, you know, risk to state and non-state actors that it holds. Like the Frax team is docs, they're not going to rug.
Yeah.
But where the risk is that like, you know, maybe like, you know, what if like North Korea does some like social engineering attack, or like, oh, like what if like the feds like show up at the like, those are like real risk. And so like,
or Dave, or even that $5 wrench attack.
Yeah.
or $5 wrench attack. Yeah, exactly. And
Oh.
so, you know, multi-sig was always a step. It was never the end. And like FraxGov is like still like another step towards decentralization, and it's a lot better than before. And most importantly, it leaves final power to VEFXS holders. It finally gives those VEFXS holders teeth that can bite when you know, if shit hits the fan, or if you know, it power to the people right there.
Yeah. So shout out to Dan Wu on Twitter for publishing an excellent thread, which I definitely took a lot of information from about for the article.
Dan Wu.
Dan Wu, thank you so much. So he said there's 3 major problems in Frax's current governance. One, there's a single point of failure, or sorry, there's a single point of on-chain proposal and execution. So like everything has to be run through the Frax core team, right? There's number 2, there's no way for Frax token holders to hold Frax core team accountable, right? And 3, it doesn't really scale, and governance participants are not aligned. So the new governance feature, which we get into the article, talks about like this new system with Governor Alpha and Governor Omega. Alpha is supposed to be this like high quorum system where you need at least 40%. And this is essentially allows you to make changes across the entire protocol. This is how this is what's given the master keys. So all of the powers that the multi-sig signers have is going to Governor Alpha. Now, but that doesn't really work for like day-to-day stuff, right? Like AMOs have to be changed around. There's other transactions that just need to be run. And so for that, there's like a lower level of governance called Governor Omega, which only needs a 4% quorum. And this allows the team to run their transactions that they need on a weekly basis and keep the functioning of the Frax protocol up to date. And in case there is any issues, VEFX holders can band together, push it over 51%, and then they can make immediate transactions wherever they want to. Yeah. So go read the article.
Go subscribe to flywheeldefi.com for all the latest Frax 101 and beyond.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Dave, where can you tell them more about the website?
Oh yeah, so we finally changed our domain to flywheeldefi.com. And yeah, like this is your one-stop shop for everything Flywheel, from our Frax content to some of my travels, all these different conferences and everything in between. We have it all here, and we have a new website in the works as well that's going to really highlight not just the content that we write and that we produce, but really everything we do at Flywheel, from, you know, online content whether it's written or video, audio, to in real life events, to merch and everything in between. Can be really exciting stuff for Flywheel DeFi in the future. You know, we're keeping the flywheel spinning here.
Hey, so speaking of spending, can you talk about this educational incentive thing that we've got going?
Yes. So we're in month number 2 of the Frax Education Incentive Program. You know, we see a lot of threaders out there. We see a lot of infographic creators out there, and we want to reward them. And we want to, you know, proliferate Frax out to the masses. You know, Flywheel, Frax, we can only do so much. I feel like we target a lot of the existing base, but like to reach that new base, you know, we have to have outsiders that are writing threads, and we want, you know, we want to give researchers too, like, hey, like you should look into this. It's pretty cool over here. Come to our little corner of DeFi. So Frax Educational Incentives Program, you know, if you write an article, whether it's a beginner article or advanced article, get rewarded some FXS, hundreds of dollars of I think it's $500 of FXS, $250 of FXS. Threads, we got you, threaders. You know, make a thread, have it blow up. We got you some FXS. If you create an infographic, you know, a nice little, you know, chart explaining like, hey, like, look at the Frax ecosystem, look at everything that's going on. You get like a little bit. And then video, of course. So if you like have a video that gets over 1,000 views, we'll get you as well. And so, yeah, that's the Frax Education Incentives. And
what about Dave? What about dashboards? Do dashboards give?
Oh yeah, dashboards, of course. The dashboard,
pretty big.
Dashboards get the biggest. Dashboards get like, you know, and you could get like 2,000, I believe, $2,000 worth of FXS, if not more.
Speaking of dashboards, friend of the show, Seba, first guest.
He came back.
He has made a brand new frxETH dashboard, and it's beautiful.
Oh,
look at this.
Oh,
beautiful. It's just bigger. Like I love Dune, but sometimes Dune is like everything's too small.
What platform? Flipside. Okay.
Yeah, this is on Flipside. So he's made a brand new frxETH dashboard. It's got lots of beautiful charts. Wow, look at this.
Yeah, the Flipside does great charts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, look at this. This is a beautiful chart. Look at it. Look at this blue. These like blue bars that are growing. That's that's queued pending. Wait, sorry. Those are validators waiting to join. We have a lot. 34,000 frxETH is waiting to be added.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
Well done.
Awesome. And speaking before we go further about this, Dave, for the education incentives, is it also for non-English languages?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah. Come through. We're inviting and accepting of all languages. Spanish, Chinese, Portuguese, Korean, Japanese, Swahili, you name it.
You know what? I think that we should add some of these charts to FraxCheck. These are beautiful charts.
Yes. No, I'm definitely doing it.
Look how he even breaks down the frxETH bribes. This is pretty cool. Wow. These charts are cool. Seba, you did a great job.
Shout out Seba.
Props to Seba.
Shout out Seba. Oh, look, it's so good. I'm gonna have to dig into this. We're gonna include this in FraxCheck. Well done, Seba. Thank you. And we'll be getting some incentive money this month.
Yes. And speaking of frxETH, let's do a quick happy birthday or happy anniversary of the 222 frxETH. 222,222 Le frxETH, my friends.
Insane growth.
Yeah.
Insane in the membrane. And to think like we started at one point with like only 1,000 is kind of freaking awesome to see, to be honest.
You know what's so cool about this chart is that this line of deposits keeps on growing up. Oh my God, look at this. We're at 40% growth.
Dude.
On the 30-day.
Bruh.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Look at that hockey stick right there.
Yeah.
Like right after Chappella.
Yep, right after Chappella. You know, actually, funnily enough, I was expecting this to continue right after Chappella, but then it slowed down, like I think 2 or 3 weeks after Chappella to like back to the usual 4-5%. And I was like, God damn it. And then I just had to wait an extra 2 weeks, and then we're so back.
We're so back.
And if we, taking a look at the 30-day change, I mean, we're number one for 30-day change in the majors.
Yep.
And we're almost at 2.5% of market share.
Dude, we were at like under 1. Obviously, we had to come from somewhere, but it's great to see. It's great to see.
And how many months has it been so far? 8?
No, since November. Yeah, around there.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. We're almost at like 1/3 of Rocket Pool size.
Mm-hmm.
Soon to be half.
Yeah. Soon to be half. I think we'll flip. Hopefully, we flip Rocket Pool this year, especially once frxETH v2 comes out.
You said by July. That was your prediction.
Is what Sam says?
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's what you said.
I think they talked about it. We talked about it a couple weeks back. I think the contracts will be ready in July. Wait, is it June? Are we in June?
No, we said like past Rocket Pool in July.
Oh, past Rocket Pool in July?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people still have questions.
I mean, that's what you said. Like,
oh yeah, if that's the case, then maybe we might get above half in July. But I think a lot of people are still waiting for like full decentralization of the minting process of frxETH to come.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because the multi-sig thing is still a worry, and once we transition to like fully decentralized frxETH creation, that's when things really start to fly.
Yeah, agreed.
So guys, big news this week, actually really big news, because there was a governance proposal that went live where stake frxETH is about to be added to not only Arbitrum, but Optimism and BSC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Incredible.
Oh,
Fraxlend going multi-chain.
Going multi-chain. Not just, we saw Arbitrum we talked about Arbitrum like 2 weeks ago. And now it just rolls out. Optimism, BSC, probably see Polygon as well too. So each pair is going to be given 5 million Frax as their max initial authorized allocation. And that can always rise once demand goes higher. So these 3 votes are up for in the snapshot right now. You can go and vote on them. It looks like they're all at about 48% quorum, and they're about 3.5 million. So halfway to quorum, another 3.5 million to vote for it. And yeah, that will be it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great to see. We've always talked about Frax. Frax was obviously on 8 chains just to kind of begin with, but we felt like only the supply was there, but no real flywheel mechanism was being built. And I think this is just the first inch onto that. And to be honest, I think my favorite AMO has to be the Fraxlend AMO, just because it's our own product. It's built in-house, and we are the largest user of this product.
Real yield.
And it's real yield. That's the most important bit. It's actual real yield, and I think it's my favorite AMO. And it prints.
I can't wait till BAM. It's like gonna be Fraxlend on steroids.
Yeah. Borrow AMM. That's for the folks at home who didn't know what BAM stands
BAM.
You know what I also like is Frax Ferry, because it's been perfectly safe. Like, we've been operating it now for several months.
Especially with this multi-chain stuff that's been going around.
Yeah. And Sam K actually made some comments about this. He said, in light of the multi-chain rumors or news, he wants to emphasize that this is exactly why we have Frax Ferry. So Frax and frxETH, or like any of the other tokens that Frax issues, are completely unaffected by multi-chain or other bridge issues. If you hold Frax on other chains using Frax Ferry, you have a native token which is not bridged using third parties. And he hopes that the multi-chain issues are fixed, and the problems, the rumors about arrests or force majeure is just not true. But he said, be thankful that we've got Frax Ferry to keep people safe from these trusting outside bridges.
It's fair.
Yeah,
it's fair. And yeah,
I still think it's crazy that you could have a bridge in 2023 that's fully controlled by multi-sig.
Yeah, especially all that happened.
People don't learn until, who reads the docs, right? The percent of folks who read the docs relative to those who just bridge, I feel it's a very small percentage. And but actually, Frax Ferry, I maybe this was so obvious, but I just kind of clicked for me is if Frax Ferry becomes kind of like the de facto bridge for anything, like when you're about to jump to another chain, you first swap into Frax and then you bridge over and then you swap out of Frax into whatever. And Frax acts as that like bridge layer, effectively the bridge, except you just have to swap into that native asset. Like that will bring in a lot of trading volume. Just that, that 4 bips each time to swap in and out of Frax. If it becomes the safest way to bridge, so your assets is never kind of like stuck per se.
Wait, is there a fee for Frax Ferry?
No. But I'm saying, let's say I had USDC and I wanted to bridge over, and I don't want to bridge my USDC. I swap USDC into Frax, which costs 4 bips. And then when I bridge over onto, say, Optimism, then I swap back out into USDC, which I pay another 4 bips into the curve pool. Then I effectively paid 8 bips to use this bridge. But I know that my assets are indeed safe because I have the native token on that chain.
Somebody should start a protocol that gives you the USDC immediately and then charges like 16 bips or something, and then uses the Frax.
Does this for you? Yeah. Just completely in the back end. Yeah, 100%. That is assuming that Circle doesn't offer this bridge, which I don't think they do.
It sounds like it could be a hackathon project, which is our next little announcement. The Frax Build Hackathon is kicking off this Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific time is the opening ceremony. Yours truly will be there. And we're kicking off 50 days with $50,000 up for grabs right here. Really exciting stuff. This is the first official Frax hackathon hosted by Frax, Flywheel, and Dora Hacks. We have 3 tracks for the people. We have product expansion, we have consumer adoption, and we have data analytics. You can go to the Dora Hacks website, the Dora Hacks Frax Build Hackathon page. You'll have all the information you need to enter some tracks, some ideas. There's going to be several workshops and office hours with the Frax core team themselves. So if you ever wanted to talk to Sam, Kaz, or Travis, or Drake, or anybody else from the Frax core team, now's your chance to ask those questions. So really good opportunity to get intimate, to learn about Frax from a code GitHub level. So I encourage all our builders to go and participate. Winner will be announced July 20th. So you got plenty of time, but May 29th, 11 a.m. Pacific time, opening ceremony. Be there or be square.
In other news, there was a interview that Sam did today, or like a roundtable, I guess, as you want to call it. This was called The Future of Liquid Staking Derivatives. It was him and Zhongying Chan from CoinGecko, Darren Langley from Rocket Pool, and Anuthi from Statter Labs. So you can find this in the flywheeldefi.com email. We'll have a link to the Twitter broadcast where you can go and listen to this.
That's awesome. What's Statter Labs? Is that Anchor or what's that?
I believe it's another e-staking product.
Okay.
It's funny. I did I just did a space with Darren yesterday, or 2 days ago. I think it was with who was it with? I forget who it was with. Man, I do spaces for Frax. I do so many, I forget which one, but I did it with Darren. I forget who it was with. But what I realized is people, I thought staked ETH would get up to 80%, 90% in the future, but people think that's too high. Most people think, including Sam, they think staking ETH will get to 50, 60% of the network. I'm not sure what you guys think. How high do you think staking rates will go? Because my thing is all right, why would I not stake it? It seems like the things that are stopping mass staking is just one, the withdrawal queue from Lido. So that's a big thing. So that's been removed. And 2, probably institutions kind of holding back at the moment and just waiting to see how things play out. So I still think it's going to go pretty high, but definitely more than 60%. But, maybe I'm just being stubborn here. What do you guys think?
So I think that there's still going to be demand on all the centralized exchanges to hold ETH, but you are seeing the amount of ETH held on centralized exchanges hit pretty much all-time lows right now, as more and more people transfer over to staking products. We're always going to need a lot of ETH for gas, and I think some people just like to use ETH for some things, even though it's like less capital efficient.
It's Lindy.
It's Lindy, exactly. I mean, it's the native token. I mean, like sometimes you're willing to take a risk at the expense of a 4% yield or 5% yield.
Mm-hmm. Nothing safer than good old-fashioned Ethereum, right, folks?
Exactly. So the thing that actually talking about staking, there was this huge debate in the Frax Telegram chat this week about RPL and about like what exactly it is and how it gets defined in sort of Sam's idea of the his like stablecoin maximalism, right? So somebody brought up, or Stable Scared posted a thread about RPL's tokenomics. And then Sam essentially came back and was like, well, look, RPL, the way that they structure things is that, there are validators or people, node operators who are running these validators. And they either put up 8 or 16 ETH. And then they're able to essentially get leverage through other people putting ETH in their nodes. And then they have to additionally buy some RPL that they then use to stake. And Sam was like, this is cool and all, but it just, his opinion is that it makes RPL costlier for the node operators, especially people who come in later, because they're paying an elevated price for RPL. And the price volatility means that they could lose money on their RPL, even though they're making money with their ETH nodes. So he said that, like, when you look at it, this is just like a different loan system, and compare it to, say, Lido, where
it's have like 0.
Yeah, the node operators don't have to put anything up, and they don't have to buy any LDO, so their capital efficiency is much higher than RPL or Rocket Pool.
They can pass on that yield to everyone, and everyone benefits.
Exactly right. So Rocket Pool's suite is just a software that allows you to run an ETH validator by only putting up either 8 or 16 ETH, and their product is this yield-bearing stablecoin, and it is a stablecoin, Sam says, and it also attains monetary premium, being integrated in different places in DeFi, and people pay for that, right? So even though these products may look like one thing, he says you have to understand it in terms of a loan and then also a stable coin
through the lens of stablecoin maximalism.
Yeah. So I think some people, like Haim was talking about this. He runs a Rocket Pool node. He was talking about, he didn't really like the characterization, but it does make sense, right? So there.
Oh, it completely makes sense.
It does. Yeah. And RPL has its own quirks, and I think
people like them.
People like them. Yeah.
Even though they're like, it's for the hobbyists, people will run their own node.
Sure. And Frax is going to be allowing hobbyists to come on at some point soon with frxETH v2.
Soon trademark.
Soon trademark. Yeah. I think Q3, right? So I think the team said June or July for the frxETH code, and then it has to go to audit, which takes like 2 to 3 months. So we'll probably see deployment of frxETH v2 in like September, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So this is a really nice long conversation. We've included it into the Flywheel DeFi newsletter. So go check it out and sign up.
You know what else is going on?
What's that?
The DeFi Day Flywheel Roadshow continues over the next 2 months. It doesn't end.
Where to next?
I will be at ETH Waterloo.
Ooh, fun.
A little bit of alpha for everyone. We'll be throwing a happy hour with the Bear Chain boys.
Snap.
June 23rd. Details coming very soon. But if you're going to ETH Waterloo, make sure you hit me up, say hello. I'll make sure if you hit me up saying you watched this episode, I'll get you into the event, no prob. We are going to Paris. I am speaking at 2 events. I am on a panel at Stable Summit representing Frax. And I will be speaking at ETHCC about stablecoin maximalism. And I may or may not be having a birthday party.
Fun.
And so
birthday
may-
party.
maybe allegedly, but definitely be speaking at those events. So come through, repping Frax there, putting my Frax hat on, and yeah, well, that's the Flywheel Dave never ending world tour.
What sign are you?
What sign am I?
Are you a Taurus? Are you a
No,
bull,
no,
bull?
no, 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 no. I'm not Taurus. Although I always find myself like surrounded by Tauruses, like literally, like all my friends and girls I'm into are Tauruses. It's
Yeah,
uncanny.
friends,
It's
girls, Frax bull.
uncanny, uncanny. But no, I'm a
Oh,
Cancer. I'm July 22nd, so yeah, that's why the compatible water sign, earth sign shit. That's what my astrology friends in LA say.
well, also I have an announcement for Flywheel Asia. Actually,
Yes,
also has a
this is
event coming up at ETH Seoul. We are targeting June 2nd, so it's literally in a week or so. It's going to be the kickoff event for ETH Seoul because I don't think they have a kickoff party, so we're just going to throw one. So
hell
come
yeah.
hang out with the three coolest kids: the Flywheel, the Frax, and obviously the IQ, which is Brain Dow. So come hang with us. We'll have, obviously drinks. We'll get you a seep deep into the Korean culture. And it's going to be
Some
a great time
soju,
with good vibes. Of course, mandatory.
mandatory
Mandatory.
soju shots for everybody that walks in.
Yes. We're gonna have super fun trivia. It's gonna be a good time, guys. So definitely swing on by for that too. We'll drop it into the Telegram chat and across every channel when we have the invite link ready. But like Dave said, if you saw this show, just mention you heard it here, and then I'll get you in, no matter what.
No matter what.
Fun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, so that's gonna wrap it up. This is busy week this week. Lots of announcements, especially from Flywheel. So
Yeah.
yeah.
actually,
Actually, what?
Before we go to governance, we were talking about this yesterday, you and I, Dave. But one thing that I'm excited about is that with the new governance system, we didn't talk about this, is that you will be able to delegate your VEFX to someone.
Oh yeah.
Potentially could be Flywheel.
Could be Flywheel.
Could be Flywheel.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Yes,
So
yes.
I think this is going to add new voting blocks, right? So
Yeah.
maybe
A Republican system,
Yes.
one might say.
yes.
A Fraxican.
Yeah, maybe we could become number one in voting power.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Come on. Your
Potentially.
trusted neighborhood Fraximilus.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week. You know where to find us. You see all of our Twitter names here
Yep.
in the chat. Otherwise, please come to the website, sign up, go to the YouTube, sign up. Also, you can follow us across all of your favorite podcasting platforms.
At Flywheel DeFi.
Yeah, Flywheel DeFi. And yeah, Dave, take us out.
Yeah, you heard the man. Go subscribe to us at flywheeldefi.com for all the latest Frax, Flywheel, and everything in between updates. We got you covered. And if you want to stay up to date with everything, hit that bell button, subscribe to our YouTube, join the conversation at Flywheel DeFi. Follow us on Twitter at Flywheel DeFi. Follow me on Twitter at DeFiDave22.
You can follow me at 0x_K.
And I'm a Traders_Insight. That's going to wrap us up. We'll see you again next week.
Peace.